Hi guys, hello, I'm Manon Bril, I'm a French creator. I'm really glad to be here today. Look around how beautiful it is. We are at the Musée Museum in Paris, in France of course, and I'm so happy to be here because it's like my favorite museum in Paris. And you can see why, right? You can see why. It's so beautiful, isn't it? And I also really like it because it is like I can say the palace of the Impressionism. You know what Impressionism is? Maybe yes, maybe you don't. And we have a specialist to talk about that today. He is a curator of the museum. He's called Paul Perrin. Please welcome him. Hello, Paul.
Hello,
Hello.
everyone.
I'll put the micro between us and everybody can hear us, I think so. So, Paul, you're a curator here in Orsay. Maybe you can show us some wonderful painting, and going there, I can ask you some question about your work.
Yeah.
Is it good? Good
Yeah.
for you?
Maybe we can just have a look at the.
Oh
at
yeah,
the,
definitely.
the museum,
Yeah,
maybe. Just
I'm such in a rush. Please stop me, please.
Just the Great Hall.
Yeah, that's so great, right?
So as you can see, we are on the fifth floor of the museum. So it's the highest floor of the museum. We are on one of these two towers that look above the great nave of the museum.
Really impressive, right?
And here you can see the bigger space of the museum, and it's a strange place for a museum.
Yeah, right.
Because it was not supposed to be a museum at first. You know that Musée d'Orsay at first was not a museum but a train station.
A train station, we can
railway
see that.
Station.
Yeah.
And so here was a place where the train come and goes. And this train station was built for the Universal Exhibition, the World Fair in Paris in 1900.
That's why it's so fancy, right?
Exactly. It was supposed to be the most beautiful train station in France because it was here to host all the tourists that came to France in 1900. As there were a lot of people, something like more than 50 million people came from all around the world to Paris.
So that's a way
Fair.
to impress them when they arrive here, right?
And so we had this very beautiful train station, and probably more beautiful than other train station. As you can see, the decor it's very ornate here. It's different from other train station when you have just a metallic structure and glass. Because also it was a special train station for electric engine.
Oh,
so there was no.
It was such a modern place.
Exactly, it was the first train station with electric engine and not with steam and smoke. So no steam, no smoke. So you can see the ceiling.
Closed.
So it has to be beautiful. So that's why we have this beautiful space. This space was dedicated for sculpture when we decided to make it a museum in the.
When was that?
In the 1970s and 80s. The train station didn't work anymore, so it was the idea what to do with this place. And we had the Louvre Museum was too small
empty.
At that time.
It was empty.
It was the Impressionists were also very crowded in a very small museum outside in the Tuileries Garden, in what is today the Jeux de Paume Museum, maybe you know it. And so the idea was, okay, we have a full building, lots of space, and we are going to put together the Impressionist, sculpture, all the art of the 19th century in one place in Paris.
Okay, except some of the paintings of the 19th century are in the Louvre, right? Like the neoclassicism.
Yeah.
Or
the early 19th century is at the Louvre, and then the 20th century is at the Centre Pompidou. So really, Orsay is in between. Second half of the 19th century, and it's really around the Impressionist, which is the heart of the collection, which is the heart of the museum.
And that's the biggest collection of Impressionism in the world, right?
Exactly. Musée d'Orsay is probably the best collection for Impressionist painting in the world.
Definitely the best, guys. Definitely. You're gonna see that.
So we have. The collection is around 5,000 paintings, and among these 5,000 paintings, we have something like 500 paintings by Impressionist artists.
Okay.
And
All exposed?
No,
Okay.
not all of them. The master works, the masterpieces are there, and we are going to see them. But we have also some works in storages sometimes. We are lending also a lot of paintings to exhibitions. So yeah, it's always it turns in the galleries.
And I can see an elephant here. Isn't it
Yeah.
strange?
It's a bit weird.
elephant.
So this elephant is a temporary installation, if I can say. It's linked with our new temporary exhibition that will open tomorrow, because the museum is reopening after 6 months closure.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
finally.
Yeah, we are
Finally.
so happy. And so the new exhibition is about nature, science, animals,
Darwin.
dinosaurs in the 19th century. And so we have this very special loan from the Muséum d'Histoire Naturelle for this exhibition. But here is
Great.
the sculpture, and we are going to see painting.
Yeah, let's talk
Today.
about painting,
Exactly.
because you're a specialist,
So
right?
I'm one of the. We are 15 curators.
Yeah, so
Musée d'Orsay.
what exactly is a curator actually? What's your job?
So we have 15 curators. Some here are curator of paintings. There's curator for sculpture, for decorative arts, photographs, drawings, pastels, and so I'm curator for paintings, and I'm in charge of one part of the collection,
Yes.
which is academic painting and also impressionist painting. And so the job of a curator is to be in charge of the artists,
The
so,
collections.
make sure they are in good condition.
Yes.
Is to make research on the works,
Okay.
to publish
So
catalogs.
you work on the painting here.
A curator is mostly an art historian that is taking care of actual material objects. So it's in between a keeper of a collection and an art historian. And so we are preparing exhibition. We are also trying to enrich the collection by making acquisitions.
You buy new, yeah.
So we buy paintings. We also restore the paintings. And
You don't do it
Not me,
yourself.
no.
Yeah, okay.
we
You take
wo-
the decisions
yes,
to.
right.
Okay.
We're working with conservators, and together we try to see which painting need to be cleaned, to be restored, and it's about
Okay,
that.
that's really impressive, I have to say, because you look really young, aren't you? To be here, to be
maybe.
curator at Orsay. That's fancy.
yeah, it's a wonderful place. So
Yeah,
it's great to
definitely.
be-
Good job, I have to say, good job.
Beautiful view. As
We
you
can see Paris here, guys. Hello, friends. Can you see, guys, the Sacré-Cœur? Maybe one of the
There's
most
the
famous
opera,
places.
the roof of the opera house, just in
Yeah,
the
the
lights
opera.
now. You have the Louvre, you have the Tuileries,
Much of
and you
so-
can see all of that through a big clock, as you can see.
Yeah.
Because as we are a
station,
train
again.
station, you need to take your train in time and to know the time, and so that's why we had these big clocks at the museum. And it's
So that's
probably
the clock room
It's
here.
the clock room.
Le salon de l'horloge.
It's probably one of the most popular places in the museum. Everyone comes here to take
To
selfies.
see the view?
No, to take
Oh, to take selfies?
No,
Oh,
to
really?
take
Oh,
selfies.
to put it on the gram?
Yeah. And
Okay.
sometimes you have queue here of people
really?
just waiting to
I want to take my picture before leaving.
and to take selfies like
Okay.
that. Yeah. So it's a popular
Okay,
place.
didn't know that. Okay. That's maybe because the last time I came here, Instagram wasn't a thing, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
I should come more often, definitely. Okay, so let's begin our journey through Impressionism with our first masterpiece, because, as we said, Paris is the city of Impressionism, right?
Yeah. So we have probably the best collection of Impressionist paintings in France and probably in the world. And this collection allows us to tell the story of Impressionism from the very beginning. So from the mid-19th century in France, toward the early 20th century, also in France. And we have all this gallery here that we are going to walk in to explain what is Impressionism from the beginning to the end, who are the greatest artists of the movement, and probably this painting here is a good way to start this
to
journey.
Introduce them. Yeah,
you have the cast.
the Wall of Fame, right?
Exactly.
This painting.
It's the cast of what Impressionism is. Here we are at the very beginning of the movement, so we have to have in mind that we are in Paris in the 1860s, and these are young artists, mostly male artists, but you will see other artists that are women after. And they want to change the art. They want to change the world, and they want to change painting.
Because the art was like really, the artistic movement was really academic. It was like neoclassicism, history, mythology, you know, and that's serious. That's only inside. We paint inside atelier and stuff like that. And so they decided to change the way to do it. How?
Exactly. They wanted to change it, and they had strong affinities. They were really a group of artists.
Okay.
That's
a crew.
It's
That's
a crew.
friends.
Yes, it's almost a gang, and you can see them here. They are reunited around one man in particular that you have here in the
They
center.
don't seem really happy, right?
No, they're very serious.
Oh, they are.
No,
Yeah.
they're very serious. It's what is strange is they are very young men.
Yeah.
They are in their 20s.
They need the
early
credibility,
30s.
so
Yes.
they look serious.
Exactly.
Okay.
They were considered as rebel at that time.
Yeah.
And so this painting...
So that's punks.
Yeah.
They are punk. Okay.
And this painting is here to say, okay, they are young, they are going to make new art, but they are not like hippies with long hair, and no, they are proper, they are very serious, they are respectable, but they are going to change the art world.
This painting is saying, take us seriously.
Exactly.
Okay.
We are going to change the art, and the first who is going to do that, our master, you can see him here in the center, is Edouard Manet. Edouard Manet, we are going to see one of his master works after that. He is really the hero of this generation. You can see he's in the center, he's painting, and all his admirers, you can say his followers, are around him. So some of them are now famous, so we can see them, like for example this one with the hat, which looks like a portrait in the portrait with a frame around the head. This is Auguste Renoir, who is going to be very
famous one. We're going to see some of his paintings.
The one that is looking on the other side, like here with the beard, that's the writer Émile Zola, who was also very close to this generation.
Émile Zola, never heard about him. I don't know who he is. So many stars here, actually.
You are the biggest, the tallest of them, the very elegant, very
he
chic
is a
man.
giant, right?
This is a man named Frédéric Basile. He was also very close to them, but he died very young in the Franco-Prussian War.
Okay.
So that's why we are not going to hear of him later. And this little man on the edge of the painting, which looked like a bit shy. And
it's like punished.
we don't know who. It doesn't seem very important here.
Yeah.
But it's Claude Monet, he's going to be probably the most famous artist of the group.
Definitely.
He's going to be the star, and today he's probably one of the most famous artists in all art history. So it's really interesting because
he's in the shadow.
He's in the shadow, but quickly he's going to be probably the most important artist.
But right now he's not, right?
No.
Okay.
He's in the shadow of Edouard Manet, and there is a sort of competition between the two painters, Edouard Manet and Claude Monet. Claude Monet is a bit younger. Claude Monet doesn't come from the same family background. Edouard Manet comes from a very high society background. He's from the upper class of the society, and he's a bourgeois, you can say. Claude Monet is from it also comes from a wealthy family, but it comes from a more his parents have a shop in Normandy, so it's not exactly the same.
Middle class.
More middle class, yeah. And so they are a bit in competition, and they also have almost the same name, like Monet
Right.
and Manet.
Yeah.
And it's fun because Manet presented a painting at the Salon in '65, and next to his painting was another painting by Monet. And the critics were they really loved the Monet painting, and Manet thought it was a joke, like someone had taken his name, and he was quite
That's the way
angry.
he discovered him?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So he discovered that there was a young artist, almost his name, who was doing very innovative painting and art.
And sorry.
No, and we are going to see
we are going to compare actually two versions of the same subject, one from Monet, one from Manet. Same subject, really famous also, guys. Welcome if you're joining now. We are at Musée Museum, and in Paris, France, of course. And here is one of the most famous ever painting you can see here, definitely, as the Déjeuner sur l'herbe de Manet. So we were talking about how Manet and Monet are actually rivals, kind of. And
you really can see that with this painting and the one that is opposite in the same gallery. We are very lucky at Musée d'Orsay for having these two masterpieces of the early years of Impressionism. So here you have a painting named The Luncheon on the Grass, Le Déjeuner sur l'herbe, by Édouard Manet, painted in 1863. And this painting is in some way considered like a milestone in the birth of modern painting. So it looks like an ancient painting, like it's a big painting, there is a landscape, still life, naked woman, people like enjoying themselves in nature. But in fact it was absolutely new and quite scandalous.
It was really scandalous, right?
Yeah.
Why?
It was scandalous for two reasons. First reason is because of her.
Naked woman.
There's a naked woman in a picnic.
All the time. Oh, that's because she's in a picnic, right?
Yes.
Because all the time we can see at the same period naked Venuses in mythology themes and stuff like that. As we said earlier, like the same year, a painter called Cabanel painted the birth of Venus completely naked on the sea. So what? And there wasn't any scandal for this painting, right?
Because this naked woman was a goddess, and so it was okay.
For a goddess.
It was okay to
not
paint
for
a nude woman if she was a goddess, but here she's not a goddess at all. She's a real woman of the 19th century.
And you can't do that.
You can see that she's not like eternally nude. She has.
She doesn't have nipples, right?
She had put it off her dress, her hat, and she's in the middle of a conversation with men, and they are with clothes.
And so nobody cares.
And nobody understands, in fact, why is that? She's absolutely not shy.
Yeah,
like you can
because
see
she's looking at us.
Her eyes. And that's something also very daring.
Provocative.
Very provocative. She knows you are looking at her.
Yeah.
She knows you are kind of enjoying her nudity.
And she don't care.
And she doesn't care because she's
like,
aware.
Yes, so
she's
what?
aware of you.
So what, guys? Look at me. Yes, I'm naked. So what?
So when Edouard Manet tried to show this painting at the official annual exhibition in Paris at that time, it was rejected by the academic jury because it was considered scandalous and obscene because in the mind of the 19th century people, she's a prostitute.
Yeah,
she cannot be something else, or she's not a very respectable woman.
Not a goddess, definitely.
Exactly. And the other thing, which was very new and that people didn't really like in this painting, is the way it is painted. As you can see, even the body is not idealized. That's a real woman. She has like her flesh.
Bourrelet, yes.
Exactly. She's not idealized. That's a real body, and people even find her ugly at that time.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
I think she's beautiful.
And today we love her. We think she's beautiful, but she was not considered beautiful at that time. And the painting itself is not beautiful. You can see the brush strokes, it's very loose, it's almost
not
unfinished.
Precise. Okay.
And so people were like, but why do you show this painting? It's not finished. You have to finish it before.
It's a sketch.
And for Manet, no, it's finished, and you want to show it like that.
Okay.
So that's why this painting was so important for the next generation. And the next generation is especially Claude Monet, who have seen
They said, let's not finish our painting.
Yes, he will say he will do the same. And also Monet, so the youngest artist, saw that Manet kind of became very popular because of that. So it was a scandal, but at the same time he gained a sort of fame.
Yeah, he went to
so scandal is a way to gain fame
definitely.
and to be famous and to have
bad buzz. You know, guys, bad buzz is still buzz.
So he want to do better than Manet, and that's why he is making this painting in the opposite direction of the room, which is
same
at
subject.
the same time a tribute, an homage to
Really?
Manet.
Is it really, or is it provocative because they are rivals?
It's both. It's a tribute, but also a challenge. And he said, okay, you are doing a luncheon on the grass, but your luncheon on the grass isn't a real luncheon on the grass. You are painting in your studio.
Oh yeah,
it's not,
he painted it inside.
Yeah, this one was in the studio. And so Monet is saying, I'm going to do the same, but with a real person, out of doors, in a real forest. This is the Forêt de Fontainebleau, near Paris. With real people who are his friend and girlfriend. Here you can see this woman here is his girlfriend, Camille. And
Lovely dress.
She's going to become his wife. Friends, you have Frédéric Basile, the tall guy is Frédéric Basile. And probably here, this man with the big beard is maybe Gustave Courbet, another important painter.
Best stash ever.
Exactly.
Right.
And the painting is huge. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's definitely huge. But the frame is really strange, isn't it?
Yes, because what you see here is not the actual original huge painting. It's just fragments of it. Because Monet wanted to make a very large painting, 4 meters to 6 meters in size. But it was too big for him. So he really wanted to do it.
Too ambitious.
But it was too ambitious, and at the end, he didn't really manage to give the idea of plein air, of natural light, with such a big paintings.
Okay.
So he rolled the painting.
Just a question. He went outside with a painting that big to...
No, in fact, he made sketches in the forest outside. And in
I was
the
like,
studio,
well, that's huge for the picnic, you know.
No, you cannot bring this huge painting in the studio. But that's why it was not really.
So the challenge isn't completely.
And you can see here the painting is really unfinished. The dress is not. It's really an unfinished painting.
But that's the thing, right? To unfinish the painting.
It's too unfinished.
Okay.
And. So he rolled the painting in the studio. He kept it in his studio, and you know, Monet at some moment of his life was really poor. He didn't sell any paintings, so he needed money, and he rented an apartment. And so to pay his landowner, he paid it with the painting.
Okay.
So one man took the painting, rolled, and put it in a very humid cellar for years.
He didn't really care.
No.
Okay.
And so for many years, this painting was stored in a humid cellar in the Parisian suburbs.
He didn't know how rich he could have been later with that.
He didn't know the
famous guy he was
going
to be. Okay.
And a few years later, Monet has more money now, and he wants to buy this painting again, back. So he's going to buy the painting back. He opened it
by your own
in a way,
masterpiece.
And he discovered that some areas of the painting has been really damaged by the humidity, by the water in the cellar, and so he had to cut some part of the painting.